Oh, really?
Okay,
Oh,
we are live.
yes.
Take it away.
Hey, this is the Dark Begonia podcast. Welcome to the garden. My name's Alex Flapjacks, your host, and my co-host over here is Troy Andrew. What's up, man?
Thanks. Thanks for introducing me to your show. It's a beautiful show.
You mean it's our show? Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know why
totally. Our
I
show.
don't know why
Well,
you keep
both of us.
singling me out. Just say no. This is all yours, man. Take it. Oh man. But yeah.
All right, folks. We're a little new to this, but we're gonna have a fun time, and we're gonna
Yeah.
introduce the topic of the Manananggal. I really hope I'm saying that right. I've honestly practiced trying to say it. The Manananggal. It
Yeah.
is
It's
an
a hard
athlon of the
word.
Philippines.
Hmm.
Before we get into that, why don't we introduce the show a little bit more? This is our first episode, as it is.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about urban legends from across the world. We're going to be traveling around a bit and just talking about really cool urban legends. I really wanted to start with this one because of like how horrifying this like creature is. It's
Yeah.
like the scariest thing I've ever come across. So
Yeah. It originates in the Philippines, where you actually lived for like several months, which is
yes,
pretty cool.
yes,
And you
I've
actually
met
talked
people that
to.
have known about it
Yep.
and discussed it. So that's another really cool thing I can bring to the table as well.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. That's why I was like, all right, this definitely has to be our first topic to talk about because not just because it's so creepy and horrifying, but because you actually were there. You lived there for quite a while and talked to the locals that actually had some encounters or heard stories that their family members had encounters with. So it's a pretty interesting topic to go through. But we're not like a history, you know, podcast where we're going to go down the history of like, where it came from, like just a little bit, but mostly
Yeah,
just
just a
talking
couple
about it and what
goofballs,
we
you
know a
know.
little bit. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, this creature, man, it's the things I've read so far, there's just so many different types of aswang. Am I saying correctly? Aswang?
Aswang. Yeah,
Aswang. Okay. Like
yeah, pretty good.
people were saying it looks like a tall dog that stands on two legs, or it just looks like a woman. People were saying it could be a man or a woman, really, but mostly some of the accounts is people have been mentioning, or it's a woman, and it. I'm trying to look in my like, yeah, it says it actually detaches from its body when it actually turns into this demon-like creature at night. So it
Yeah,
kind of
so folks,
it sounds like it's
you'll
a nocturnal predator. Basically, it only hunts at night, which is interesting.
yeah. So just imagine this: you're going to bed at night. You're sleeping out in the province. You're going to bed. You're by a
Mhm.
window, and in the middle of the night, this half torsoed like person, basically with wings, just kind of floating around like I don't know, like Rick and Morty fans, like the time police, like they're just floating like that, with two arms. But imagine this thing has
God.
wings, has like, you
Mhm.
know, all kinds of stringy hair. It looks demonic, and it has the
Yeah,
tongue
yeah,
of like a Resident Evil licker, like just drops down.
yeah. And
um,
the crazy thing is, man, it's really like I looked at some pictures online, and it's just like there's all different type of pictures that I've seen, interpretations of it. But the one I saw, the tongue actually looked like it opened up a little bit with a mouth.
really?
Yeah, that's the one
Really?
picture I saw, which kind of was like, oh my God, dude, what is this thing? But there's so many things like people were saying that it has magic powers, it can heal itself, which was like you can't even hurt this thing if you wanted to, which is weird, you
Well,
know?
it has the weakness of its detached body, but it hides it very
Yeah.
well. So if you were to find that,
Oh,
then
okay.
you'd stand some kind of a chance.
Chance, yeah. Wow.
But yeah, there's all kinds of stories on the internet of I don't know how true
Oh,
they are. I mean,
tons.
it's just
Tons. Oh
but
yeah.
like I've heard stories of like the tongue like coming down from the ceiling and people like chopping it off. Um,
Wow.
I think in some of the research I've done, windows are very popular for the tongue to get into.
Mhm.
It's a creature that would prefer to like basically hang out on the
Yeah.
roof and try to
Yeah.
like
Or even
get to
cracks
you
through
that way.
windows, I heard. Yeah. Like cracks through windows. Like you could get their tongue through that to get to their victims. And it's crazy. This thing's been around for a long time. This is my first time hearing about it, which is insane because I love this creepy stuff. Like all I do is look up stuff online. about creepy lore around the world, and I have not heard of this, which is crazy. But yeah, this thing's been around for like thousands of years, and I think I think it was like, I think the year, I think in the 1500s, I think when like the Spanish colony came to the Philippines and Christianized it, that's where I think they started seeing more of Aswan,
Yeah, yeah.
so which is
They tried to make a
it's
couple of
crazy.
movies too. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
what
I
happened to
remember.
them, but yeah, like it's just wild to think about, like that.
Yeah,
I'm assuming people are using black magic to do this, and then
yeah,
basically flying around at night, you know. And
yeah. There's
there are
even talk
families
about
I've
it.
met that really believe this and are like
Yeah,
are scared if they hear sightings nearby in their province,
yeah.
depending where they're at.
And it's crazy. Some of the people believe in Aswang than more than they would believe in a ghost. Like I was looking up some articles and some videos, and people were saying the locals, like they're more inclined to believe in that than some ghost haunting in somebody's house, which is crazy. Like, just thinking about like there's a creature out there flying around, killing people at night. For me, that's kind of hard to believe. But when you told me you actually spoke to the locals, and I trust you 100%, but you saying like, no, like, Alex, I've seen the fear in these people's eyes when they were telling me this. And what you said, I quote, in my opinion, I feel like they're telling the truth. Just the fear in their eyes alone, telling you this.
Usually, when you talk to like people about like this kind of subject, it's kind of brushed off. Nobody like has like a certainty, but you meet like a group of people, a family, and they're all
Hmm.
like not like worried, but like they have that belief in the back of their mind and they express that to you. It's different. Like we'll
Yeah,
cover a lot of different urban legends and whatnot, but like this is one of the ones that I like, can attest to somewhat,
yeah,
having spoken to people about it. It
yeah.
freaks
It's
me
out
out,
there. Yeah,
honestly.
yeah. That would freak me out too, man. Like, gosh, any story like that. I mean, like, and just the diet of this thing. Like, I read up on that. This thing would prey. I think preys on, I think, pregnant women,
Yeah, that's
and
their favorite, apparently.
yeah, that's their favorite. Yeah, and their food source. They usually go after internal organs like the heart, the liver. Um, it sounds like, I mean, geez, it just sounds like a vampire slash werewolf type. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. There's just all different type of like just different articles I've been reading over and over about this thing. It's just the diet changes completely too. Some people said it doesn't even bother with the heart or the liver. It just mostly feeds on blood alone. There's just mixed,
Oh
stories
man,
on the
that's so
line.
gross. And
And
like
that, I
I've
mean,
heard it's also when people are sick too. Like it likes when people are sick,
really, okay, I
like
did
to
not know
feed
that
on
part
like
of it.
I guess the huge amount of like mucus and stuff in your body.
Really, oh, this thing is disgusting.
Yeah, I was just
Nightmare.
listening to a video about that before we got started.
Really, oh wow,
But
jeez,
yeah, I'm gonna venture off a little bit. It is our first episode. How do you know
yeah.
me, Alex?
Unfortunately, I knew you for about 9 years.
9 years,
No,
9 years
no,
of hell, right?
yeah, 9 years in hell, man. But yeah, I knew you for quite a long time, man. We met at the gym. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we
he's a
was
gym
at
bro.
yeah, yeah, gym bro. That's where it all started, man. I think I was doing free weights and you were on the treadmill. And I was like, wow, look at that good looking guy over there. Just kidding.
Love at first
No,
sight.
I'm kidding. I love it for sight. No, I was with our one friend Mark, and he kept looking like towards the area where you were at, and I was like, dude, what the hell are you looking at? He said, oh, I know that guy. I was like, what guy? He points over to you, and I remember you were wearing like this pink like salmon t-shirt. I mean, not t-shirt, sweat jacket or hoodie that I don't know if you have
Yeah,
anymore, but
I missed my sweatshirt. That was a nice little
yeah,
sweatshirt
yeah. So I
for life
remember
of
that,
leisure.
and I was like, oh, dude. I mean, and I think you were getting off the treadmill, and I think you were about to head out, and I said, dude, get him over here. Let's meet him. I mean, I want to meet him. Seems like looks like a cool dude,
Just for
and after
context,
that,
I hadn't spoken to Mark in like at least 2 or 3 years, so it was like kind of like
yeah,
that awkward meeting again. And then
yeah. But no, you
all
jumped
three
in
of us
and
hit
worked
it
out
off.
with us. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. And
yeah.
after that,
Like we all hit it off. It was pretty fun.
yeah, yeah. The rest was
Alex and
history.
I have been best friends ever since.
Yeah, man. Best man at my
Unfortunately.
wedding. Screw you.
Wait. Oh, I did that? No, I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
dude. Oh my God. Yeah, you did a toast at my wedding. Piece of crap.
I if I mess with him, it's just because I don't know. It's fun for me.
Yeah, he's a
But
horrible person. That's what I have to deal with for quite a while. But
good friendship,
yeah,
right?
man. But that's why we started this podcast, man, just because we love talking about creepy, spooky things. And that's what we did, for gosh, about 9 years now.
Yeah, we do
We would
this
just,
outside of the podcast. I mean, why
oh
not make
yeah,
it
man.
into a podcast, right?
Yeah, and just talk about random stuff and get kind of lost in whatever we're talking about. But yeah, mostly just creepy stuff. I'm surprised you never brought this up to me. But to be fair, I don't think you even knew about this until you went to the Philippines, right?
No, I no. I
Yeah.
mean, I've like the close like related thing would probably be because of Aswang being like witches and like shapeshifters would be like
Yeah.
skinwalkers, which is
Skinwalkers,
more of
yeah.
like a US thing here.
Yeah.
And I guess like the just other shape-shifting creatures that are outside like Native American reservations as well.
Mhm. Yeah. Hmm. It is a creepy story. Just hearing about its diet and that it mostly hunts at night. And I heard that I don't know if you heard about this or the locals told you, but it usually comes out just at night or it only comes out on a full moon. I don't know how
That I
always.
haven't heard.
No, yeah, I was reading
Mm.
some articles online and some of them were talking about that, and I was just like, it's starting to sound more like a werewolf type of
Yeah,
thing,
I
but
know. But then
yeah,
you said
but
something about it being a big dog too, so it seems like
yeah, people were
everybody has a
has
different
their own
opinions.
yeah about it, but it's hard, to like I don't know, do I believe? I mean, I don't want to disrespect the locals and be like, nah, it's all crap. It's not. I mean, if they believe in it and there was witness accounts, I don't think people will try to make stuff like this up, and there was even people saying that this is not a witch, it's actually a demon. Like this story goes back even longer than 1,000 years ago. Like people, like if you look up online, there's even stories about this thing being, I think, around even when, um, I think when there was a war against uh, heaven and the demons, like Michael and Lucifer, and when the angels got casted to hell, some of them got casted to earth, and some of them turned into Aswang. And that was interesting. When I read that, I was like, oh my, that's actually pretty interesting. So this goes even further back than 1,000 years ago, which is pretty interesting. So it's just like there's so many different stories about this creature, and it just makes you want to dig in more. It's like we can literally do for 4, 5, 6 episodes of this, which we're not going to do, but we can always come back to it. But I mean, there's so much information about this creature, which is insane.
Yeah, that's what he wants to
Like
do.
so
It's his
much.
show, so I mean, it's cool.
No, yeah, we're just gonna do episodes about Aswan. That's gonna be our like 300 episodes. 300 episodes. Let's do it. Just about the
Yeah,
same.
Alex knows best. That's right.
Definitely not. Not all the time. Not
I'm just
always.
kidding.
Not always.
I was gonna add on to what you were saying. Like,
Mhm.
I would consider it a phenomenon because, like, think about it. Like,
Yeah.
when you talk to people here about like these like cryptids and skinwalkers and other
Mhm.
things, a lot of people like they don't really. Maybe some believe it. Maybe some even had encounters. But we're
Yeah.
talking about like a big like majority of like Filipinos that
Yeah.
discuss this openly, like as something that's a thing. So I would
Yeah.
consider it to be like a phenomenon because of that.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. My question for you is like when you went there, was it like a huge culture shock for you? And also too, were you that's the first question. The second question, it was like knowing that story and sleeping in like sleeping there, how was it for you? Were you kind of
Oh, I
nervous and
was
stuff
fine.
like that?
Like where I
Yeah.
was hadn't had any sightings for a long time, so I wasn't really worried
Okay.
about that. It was
Okay,
more of
that's good.
me kind of just doing a little investigating and talking to people about it.
Nice.
Um, I wasn't necessarily afraid. I did have one time where I'm sure it was just like a bird or an animal of some kind. I got up at like 3 in the morning exactly, or no, I'm sorry, it's 3:20 a.m. to go to the bathroom, and something banged on the wall of the bathroom
Are
I
you
was in, and
serious?
it scared me so much.
That would
But
scare
it's
the
probably
crap
not
out.
like anything like
Yeah, yeah,
bad.
that would scare the crap out of me. Oh my God. I
Well,
would
so
probably scream
the
as
place I
one.
was at also had some paranormal happenings, but I'll try to save that for
Yeah,
another episode.
yeah, yeah. That is pretty crazy. Oh my God.
Me and
But no,
Alex
man.
have
I
quite a
mean,
bit of a past with the paranormal as well, but we'll share
oh
all that in
gosh,
due
yeah.
time.
Yeah, 100% we will. But no, I'm a little jealous, man. You went to the Philippines. I was happy for you, but at the same time I was jealous because that's like On my bucket list, there's like 5 countries I always wanted to visit, and the Philippines is one of them. Try
You'll
their
go there
food
someday. You
and meet
just
the locals.
gotta
Okay.
get over your fear of flights that you have.
Yeah, I can't believe you just told everybody I had fear of flights. That's great.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, how you feel about
Yeah,
that?
that's great. I don't know. It makes me want to get a little personal with you. Yeah, tell people
Yeah.
your fear. I'm just
I don't know.
that you.
You can always talk about the airport story if you want.
What happened at the? Oh God, when I
Yeah, the
drove you to the
bridges.
airport.
Yeah, the bridges.
Oh gosh, yeah, that was yeah. When I was driving this piece of crap to what was it, the Philadelphia airport,
Yeah,
right?
Philadelphia airport.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. Freaking 2 bridges. 4, just if you count going back. I don't know why. I just had a fear of bridges my whole freaking life
Well, you
driving
never
over.
told me that. So I've known
Yeah,
you
I
for
know.
such a long time, and you never told me that. And I kind of wish I'd known
It
because
never
maybe I
never
could have
came
like
up,
prevented
man.
that.
Never came up because I mean, geez, man. I'm like small bridges are fine, but when you get to those
Yeah,
ones that are
like
really like small and tight, that's when it gets a little creepy for me, man. That's when it gets a
I've
little
seen you
uncomfortable.
drive over small bridges. You never mentioned it then. It's just the big ones, right?
Because I was, yeah, the big ones. I don't know why. I'm just like, oh man, it's gonna collapse. Oh, the wind is blowing too hard, and they're gonna blow me off the bridge. Makes no sense. I'm in a car that's like 3,000, 4,000 pounds. Like, how is
You're
that
a
gonna
big boy,
happen?
and I don't think that's
No,
happening.
yeah, it's not happening. So I'm like, what the hell? Why am I scared? Why am I nervous? But goodness. But also too, what I wanted to ask you was how was the food in the Philippines? That's what I was like
Oh gosh, so
really
amazing.
wondering. Yeah.
Pancit is like my favorite. I love pancit. I can't get enough of it. And of course, they have Korean and Japanese dishes that I love too. I now like eat kimchi every day from having lived in the Philippines. I love kimchi, and it's like I wasn't even like a big spicy food eater, but like I like it now. It's good for
Hmm.
going to the bathroom too. Let me tell you,
All
goes
right,
right through,
TMI.
but it's like decently healthy for you.
Yeah,
Koreans like
TMI,
eat it
man.
every day. A lot of them.
It is healthy for you. It is really, really healthy for you. But I
And
have tried it
Sam
maybe a
Gipsal
couple
as
of
well.
times, but say it again.
Sam Gipsal is the name of a style of food where you basically cook your own meats like in front of you when you're
Oh,
going
okay,
to
that's
eat.
yeah,
And so that's really cool. That's how I also
that's
fell
pretty
in love
cool.
with peanut sauce.
Hmm.
Peanut sauce goes awesome with meat.
Oh God, I
And
know.
yeah, I it took me a while. It really did take me a while, but I finally started eating like rice every day and meat, usually with it something, and then kimchi for a lot of nutrition as
Nice,
well.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the Filipino food's really good. I have family friends that are Filipino, and their parents were from the Philippines, and they brought some of their cuisine here, and I've tried it. It's actually really, really good. That's why I was like, oh man, I gotta visit.
Chicken
Friggin'
adobo
go
is
to the
really
Philippines,
popular.
man. Yeah, that's the one
Yeah,
I
chicken
tried, which
adobo
is
is a
really good
really
over
popular
some
dish that
rice.
a
My
lot of families
gosh.
make.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I was like, oh man, I gotta visit the Philippines, man. Try their food. Sounds so good. My gosh. Especially right now, actually, haven't ate anything. So I'm like, oh man, I want some
Oh
Filipino
yeah,
food.
I forgot you didn't have a meal yet.
No, I didn't. Like I had like
You've
maybe
been
a
like
really small
starving.
breakfast, then a really small cup of soup, and I'm like, why didn't I eat today? Why? But no, I see it right here. Back to the original point of this podcast about Aswang is yeah, I see like people are saying if you think about vampires, werewolves, ghouls, witches, it's basically Aswang. That is what Aswang is combined, um, which is crazy. It's just like
Yeah.
this combination of different type of creatures into one, and it
Yeah.
flies, which is
I all the features are what really gets me. It really makes me think of like the video games I've played. Like it looks like something straight out of Silent Hill.
yeah. And just think about it. And during the day, it's like one of the locals. It's like a normal person, so it could
Yeah,
be your
exactly.
best
Like
friend. You know what I
that's
mean? Which
another
is
scary
insane.
aspect. It's
Yeah,
disguising itself as like just a regular
yeah,
person.
yeah. And there's some um articles out there that are even saying stories out there that it thinks, and I don't remember the name. I have to go back and get the name and do some research on it even more. But at in the during the day, it actually tries like, or during the day, it's a good, person, blah blah blah, and at night it turns into this horrible creature, and it's like it's trying to fight itself. It's like two different beings trying to fight itself to get control. But at night,
Really?
that's when That's what I've read,
So
and
there's like
that's
a
the video I
duality to it.
yeah, and I think that's the video I sent you too, because I was like, "Yo, this is interesting. Goes even deeper." I did not think that this thing was even around in the times where there was, the battle in heaven. So it was just crazy. All these stories were popping up exactly when I Googled it, and I'm like, "Oh my God, there's like so many stories about this thing." It's my first time ever hearing about it. Especially when it
Yeah.
comes to biblical stuff. I'm like, okay, like how did I not hear of this creature?
Yeah, when I
Which
first
is
got back from the Philippines and I had known about the Manananggal, I looked it up a lot actually. Um, I was just curious about it, and I wanted to see videos on it. And if you go and look up Aswang in the Philippines, you'll see a bunch of videos. Some of them really might not be real. Some of them are so real looking that you just can't tell. But you never know, what you can do with videos these days.
yeah.
But they're
Oh
scary
God, yeah,
videos,
with
and
AI and
they're not that
everything
hard to
today.
find if you look
Yeah.
for them.
I feel like today, man, it's so hard to see a video, like to look at a video and be like, all right, is this real or not? Because of AI and how, technology is today and how advanced it is, it's so difficult to find a video that's legitimate. Be like, okay, this is a legit video. This is real. I can see there's no false, to this video. And there's some out there that you see, and I'm like, like Bigfoot videos. I love Bigfoot. I'm a sucker for Bigfoot. I'm biased. Saying it now. I'm biased when it comes to Bigfoot. I want it to be
Bro, you
real.
are Bigfoot.
All right, I'm getting off, guys. Have fun. Yeah, dude,
That's
I'm
today's
just a
podcast.
I'm just a tall, hairy guy. Okay, you fucking
You're a big boy.
Amish looking bastard. Anyway,
He's
but
my big lug. That's his nickname. I like to
big
call
luck.
him. You big lug.
And you're Amish. Okay, have fun with that. Nice beard. Neck beard, bastard.
Uh,
But no, but all these videos you see are like, man, I really wish was real right now, but it's not because AI makes everything look so legit these days. It's hard to even like prove anything now because of technology, how advanced it is. But
and that's the fun of it. I kind of like the fact that you never really know. So what you're watching
yeah,
is kind of unknown. Like,
yeah. I
is it
mean, I hope
real?
it's
Is it
not
fake?
real. Yeah, I hope it's not real for the locals in the Philippines. You know what I mean? So they can like have some kind of like peace when they go to sleep at night and don't have to worry about like putting garlic around the damn house. You know what I mean? I heard that's like
I
another
think it's mostly
weakness
the
to,
pregnant women that are worried for the most part.
of course, yeah,
Like
man.
they're like vital targets of like this
Yeah.
creature.
And do you know, this is a question I have for you. Like I read up some stuff and they didn't get into too much detail, but it to actually keep it away from your house, whatever, make sure your doors are locked, make sure your windows are shut completely and locked, make sure there's no holes and creases in your house that it can get in. But people are saying to actually keep it away from you is using garlic, salt, vinegar, and I believe if you're pregnant, to wear all black when you go to sleep. I don't know why
I
wearing
have
all
not
black.
researched that.
Yeah, I
I'll
don't know
take your word
why.
for it if you've seen it out there on the internet. But
Yeah, I have, and it does not make any sense to me. I'm like, why? All right, the garlic, yeah, I understand vampires, vinegar, I guess, because some pests, don't like vinegar. So I was like, all right, maybe that makes sense. Salt, I understand with like ghost, demonic stuff, they don't want nothing to do with salt. But wearing all black I mean, if anyone from the Philippines is watching this, maybe you guys can answer that for us. But I don't know. It
yeah,
did
leave a
not go into
comment
detail.
if you're in the
Yeah.
Philippines and you want to talk about it. We'd love to read your comment.
No, yeah, definitely. I don't, that's something I would like to know because I tried digging more research about it because I was like, all right, I just don't want to say this on the podcast and not give any information. I was like, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm just going to
without
say it because,
verifying it. Yeah, I hear you.
yeah, because I was like, let me just, you know, say it because I was like, it's an interesting little fact. And if somebody from the Philippines didn't know that, well, guess what? If you don't want the S1 coming to your home, wear all black when you go to
So,
sleep
out of
and
all the
the
stories that
garlic.
I've read online, and remember, these are a lot of like 4chan, green text, just comment
Yeah,
sections. You can never truly verify like if the story is actually real or not. You just, again, that's the
yeah,
fun of it. But in those stories, I don't remember any time where the encounter, like where the Manananggal was in the home. Like as far as I know, it remains outside on the roof and just trying to get its
yeah,
tongue. So that would be in line with a vampire because vampires you
yeah,
have to invite in your house
yeah.
usually.
but it doesn't make any sense. How can its tongue go into the house? That's where it kind of contradicts itself a little
Well, if
bit.
it's
Like,
like a slippery tongue and there's like enough
yeah,
of like an opening in a window or like even a
yeah,
wall or a roof, like it could apparently get the tongue in there. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure.
yeah.
You went to construction school. Maybe you can think about like the
I,
openings and stuff.
no, I know. I meant like, if it can't go in, what I mean is it's like if it's not invited, it can't enter into the home, but one part of
Yeah.
its body can. That's the one thing I'm
Oh
kind of
yeah,
confused
I
with.
guess that's true.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm
I
kind of
don't know. I
confused.
can't tell you black magic rules and what they have to follow, but that's just from what I've researched and
Yeah,
read about like personal stories. I
yeah,
haven't seen any stories where like the actual Manananggal is in the house with the person.
yeah.
But again, if somebody has like a story in the comments section that we can see,
Oh gosh, yeah,
refute me.
please.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
But from
it's
all these
just crazy.
stories, it seems like they like to create like fear, kind of like the skinwalkers and shapeshifters here in the
Yeah,
US do, and like they're like non-invasive. Like they're not gonna like kick
yeah,
down your door and like, go after you. They're more like, how can I lure this person outside so I can feed
yeah,
on them kind of tactics.
yeah. Yeah, someone not gonna kick down your door and be like, "Give me your babies," you know? Like,
Usually
it's a
that's what
little,
happens.
yeah, yeah, not really. Yeah, it's like, all right, like I'm gonna keep a gun locked and loaded just in case this thing barges in my house. But just dude, but the crazy thing is, this thing is like during the day a part of the locals, one of the locals. That's the crazy part. Just imagine you being married to something like that. Imagine your wife, you're sleeping one night,
Be
she
hiding it from me
detaches.
too.
Yeah, but just imagine you wake up one night, you turn to your side, the top part of your wife is gone. You're like, where the hell is she? You look at the bottom part, you're like, what the hell is that? Where the
Well,
hell's
if you're
my
gonna
wife?
see that on YouTube, YouTube would censor that. That is some serious gore if you saw that.
Yeah, man. Holy shit, man.
And
Like
then it
seriously.
like how do they morph back together? Is it like part of like a dark ritual magic,
Yeah, maybe.
Like I don't know. I
Yeah,
can't
that's the
even
thing. I don't
fathom it
know.
to be honest.
That's yeah, that's why for me it's like I don't know. Like I hope it's not real for the locals, but I I wouldn't say I'm like a believer in it 100%. Me, I would just say maybe this thing is just like I don't know. I think it's a demon, but do I believe it's real? Like I don't know.
You
I'm
think
not
it's a demon?
100% sure.
Well,
I
there's
think
still
it's a
people
demon
that
for
are
sure.
vessels. Like there still has to be a person that was used for
Yeah.
the
I
demonic
I
control.
it's hard because I for me personally I just found out about this creature. So I think a little bit more time and more research. I think probably, if there's enough evidence and if I ever one day go to the Philippines and I speak to the locals, you know what I mean? Maybe I would go to being like, oh yeah, I don't know if I believe to being like, oh yeah, I guess I'm a believer now. But it to me it just sounds like a demonic, entity. It just sounds like a demonic creature.
I'm sure
So
there's Filipinos that have heard of it and never seen it either. So they're just
yeah.
passing around what maybe like their
Oh
grandparents
yeah.
had experienced or like their,
Yeah.
family members.
And there's a lot of people that have wrote stories, personal stories. Like they're like, oh, I never personally saw it, but I don't really believe. But my grandmother have seen something, and it actually attacked her when she was a little girl. Going into stories like that, and you're like, oh crap, this thing actually attacked her. Um, and there's even like myths about like if it scratches you or bites you, two things can happen. You could die because of its venom or whatever saliva, or you can turn into an aswang.
Really?
That is what that the video I sent you a while ago was talking about that, yeah, which was
Mm.
pretty, yeah, vampire-like
You
and
sent me one
werewolf-like.
video that said that you had to like
So,
either consume a chick, like a chicklet, or not a chicklet,
yes,
like a baby chicken, like a
a
chick
baby chicken, yeah. Chiclet?
chicklet,
You
like a
sure?
gum.
Chiclet, you gotta eat some gum. Eat some gum, you'll be fine, you know? But,
Oh
yeah,
gosh.
it's funny. But, but no, yeah, but there was like 5 other videos for that. So there's part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. And I watched almost all of them. And I was just like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff with this damn creature, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what else I was just thinking about just a second ago?
Hmm.
Um, like I'm sure there's instances too where like the Aswang is in human form and they try to like kidnap children. Like maybe to do that.
Really?
Like yeah, like that would be like a good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
way to do it without
She's like
revealing
a
who you are,
demonic
you know?
predator, man. What the hell?
Yeah, pretty much. But that would
Jeez.
be hard to do in, like, broad daylight. Maybe at
Oh
night,
god,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Maybe, yeah, but at night she's like this demonic,
Well,
creature,
I don't know, is it like it's not like a werewolf, right? It's like where you, like, automatically
No.
turn, doesn't have choice? That I don't
Mhm.
know.
I what I've read so far into this, I it once it, becomes night, that's when it just starts turning. That's when it detaches from its lower half and starts flying like a bat in the sky and starts searching for its prey. So I don't know. I don't know if this thing does have, to be honest with you, I don't think this thing has a choice. I think it just acts on
You think it just
instinct.
turns like a werewolf turns, like, to, the full moon?
Yeah, I mean, that what I've read so far, yes. I don't think it actually has control if it wants to turn or not. Maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe this thing is just a sick bastard and it just wants to go and turn at night because it knows it's going to be easy prey. Everyone's sleeping and everyone's scared to go outside because of these stories. You know what I mean? And people are
Yeah.
saying it disguised itself as a dog. And if you, I mean, you were in the Philippines. There's a lot of dogs in that area in the Philippines roaming around.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of dog
So
for sure.
So,
A lot
like,
of
if you
stray
go out
dogs.
at night and you see tons of dogs, you're gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go back inside." So this thing obviously knows that the prey is gonna be inside, indoors, and everyone's gonna be past asleep where they're easily to be attacked while they're sleeping.
Well, if it's non-Manananggal and it's like Aswang, like in the form of just a regular shapeshifter, it'll turn into a dog. I don't know if the Manananggal can do that, but I know, like,
Yeah.
a shapeshifter could definitely do that. And then,
Oh,
act like an
100%. Yeah.
animal that's curious and
Yeah, man.
yeah, actually, it brings me to another point. I recently had a nightmare about some wolves that were acting very curious and human-like and non-aggressive.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me they did not have a face at all.
Well, they
Or they did have a face. Sorry, they didn't
yeah,
have like what
they
did you
were
say? It was
missing
like
like skin on the face. Like there was
yeah,
like I could
like
see a
just a
skull plate
skull.
on the dog. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
and
a weird
they
dream.
they tried to follow me out of this trailer I was in. And then I ended up, like, basically, just to make a long story short, I ended up coming face to face with what looked like a witch with, like, like anybody here who's watched The Exorcist, imagine like the girl from The Exorcist, like how her face is all like lacerated and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's what I saw, and she grabbed me, and I pretty much like blacked myself out of the dream. I woke myself up immediately, and then I saw like this hand on me, um, just for what did I tell you, 2 seconds, and it freaked me out so much. It honestly felt like an actual like shapeshifter skinwalker dream.
And it's funny because that's what we're talking about for like
Yeah,
2
and it
weeks.
makes
We've
me
been talking
wonder, like,
about it.
if we're talking about it so much to like amp ourselves up for this like podcast,
Yeah,
and like I'm having like these like wild nightmares, I'm really good with nightmares. If nightmares play out
yeah,
like video games, because I play a lot of video games, like I don't
mhm.
really, I'm not too bothered by it. But when I start seeing like things when I wake up, like a hand on me, like yeah, no. Now it's like
Oh
into
god, yeah.
like the terrifying territory.
I just think there's something wrong with that, man. I think there's something attached to you just because we'll get more into detail why I say that, but yeah, that's just
Yeah, I got a lot of stories.
a lot of
Uh,
stories. So definitely stay tuned for that. But I'm just reading something now about this creature, which is just before I get to that point. By the way, really creepy. We're talking about skin. We're not talking about skinwalkers. We're talking about shapeshifters, and you have that dream like just today, basically today that we're doing the podcast, which is
oh, it was yesterday actually. So
oh
yeah,
yesterday. I'm
yeah.
sorry,
No,
yesterday it
it's fine.
was. Yeah, which is creepy, and just how how because dude, the videos now like we'll see videos of animals just mysteriously just looking at people just in a weird way and being very curious, and it's like
Yeah, human
animals don't
mannerisms.
naturally, yeah, and their eyes are all bugged out of their head, and it's like animals don't naturally do that. Even if they have rabies, they don't do that. They just act a different way. They just act like, you know,
Yeah, you sent me this
not
this
possessed
video of this
looking.
goat standing up. That one was like really freaky.
To me, that video can easily be, like you said, it could be like just maybe a stuffed,
Well, yeah,
animal. I don't know.
I was playing devil's advocate, but
Yeah,
still, it was still a
but
creepy video. Besides that point,
of course, but the other video I sent you, it looked like a deer slash goat. It was a weird looking animal, and it literally knocked like the person actually heard knocking on her door, and she opened the door, and it was just this animal trying to
yeah,
come
you
inside.
you should not open your door to see an animal staring at you with no other like
Yeah,
signs of like
it
animal
looked
mannerisms.
it looked like it was just hollow inside. It's just staring at her like, let me in, let me in, please. Like,
Yeah, the U.S. coyotes are a really popular part of the story when they usually talk about skinwalkers
yeah,
and shapeshifters. Coyotes for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Um, I imagine it varies. Um,
Oh God, yeah,
depending on where you are. When you talk about shapeshifters, they can shapeshift into like all kinds of different animals. It's not just
yeah.
coyotes and deer and goats, it's all kinds of animals.
Oh, 100%. Sorry, I'm just reading up on this right now. So, if you are, this is during the day, obviously, when Aswang is in human form and not a detached demon flying in the air. Um, if you, so let me read this. If your reflection appears upside down in someone's eyes, they are said to certainly be Aswang of some kind, Aswang as of some kind. Sorry, their freaking grammar's horrible, but yes, that's what it says, and I'm like, wow, that's so yeah. If you're in the Philippines and you see
Creepy.
someone and you're yeah, yeah, right, and you look in their eyes and you appear to be upside down, the reflection of their eyes, yeah, then they are most certainly an
Oh
Aswang.
yeah, I just thought of another story that I was looking at because, like I said, I scour the internet for all these stories,
Yeah,
and then some of them are kind of just coming back to me now. It was an old man actually that was living next to a woman of the story who was telling the story, who was narrating it,
yeah,
and it was able to basically smell that she was pregnant, and she was pregnant, but she didn't know it yet. So the old
yeah,
man had told her she was pregnant already without her even knowing that she was pregnant. So that freaked her out a lot. She was wondering if that was like somebody doing that kind of dark magic.
yeah. Jeez. Yeah, man. I mean, there's so, I mean, and like I said before, it could be a man or a woman, but most of the accounts have been a woman though, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, man, there's
I
the one story that
Yeah.
freaked me out online was going back to that young lady that was talking about her grandmother. Because again, she says she doesn't believe because she's never seen it, and nobody her age has actually seen it. So I don't even think this thing is possibly around anymore. Maybe it is, maybe I don't know. But her grandmother, I think she was maybe I think she was like under 10 years old, possibly like 8. And she was out at night. I don't know what the hell she was doing at night, late at night. This is probably like around, I think, 10 at night. And and it's weird because in the story, it talks about when you see a dark, and this is what the article said, when you see a dark bird, small dark bird around, um, like I don't know why it's a small dark bird. It just makes no sense. But if you see that, then Aswang is near, which to me doesn't make any sense. But I'm like, whatever.
Like,
Um,
did it mention like the size of a woodpecker, or is it like big enough to be a raven or a crow?
they just said a small black bird, so probably smaller than a raven. But to
Okay,
me,
I'm
but
thinking
the
like
thing,
woodpecker
but
size.
again, it's not. I'm sorry, it's not an article. It's a comment of somebody that was writing about their grandmother's experience. So it's not like a legit article of somebody like going into specific detail that,
Yeah,
oh, the
you gotta take
history
everything we
behind.
say with a grain of salt.
Of course, yeah. But the grandmother, was just walking around at night, and she feels a gush of wind hit her like in the back of the neck, and she looks up and she sees this demonic. She just sees a black outline of wings, a creature with long hair, and
Whoa.
and really bloodshot red eyes, which is scary. And she ran back to her house, and I think the thing tried to follow the little girl, the grandmother, and knocked her down. And the grandmother got back up and ran to the house, which is really, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm happy that it didn't get to the grandma, and I grabbed her and took her away. But I'm just like, oh my gosh, man.
Like most of these
Like
stories
that.
are sightings. I don't want to like have a tangle with it.
No, God, no, man. So it's definitely yeah, definitely a pretty scary story. I'm just like trying to put myself in the grandmother's situation, mindset, like in that type of situation, like how crazy that would be. I would never go outside at night again. I'd just be like, no, it's at night. All right, cool. Sun's going down, I'm going back in the house. All right, I'm gonna watch TV or whatever. I don't know. Do something, read a book, go to bed. But yeah, that to me, that's when I feel like, all right, because I'm scared as hell of ghosts. You know what I mean? I'm good. If I hear something and I'm home alone, the door opens by itself. I'm like, all right, I'm going to the other room or I'm going outside. That I'd rather face a ghost than that thing because that's a physical thing that can easily kill you if it's real.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, common sense. Common
it's got
sense.
claws too, right?
Yeah, claws and
Yeah,
really sharp teeth, but has a long tongue that kind of goes into being
got that
another
Resident
mouth.
Evil looking tongue.
Yeah. So it's pretty pretty wild stuff, man. Pretty wild stuff.
So I don't know. I feel like you're the guy to really ask about this, Alex. But because of the wings present, you think it's like a fallen angel, maybe?
I I I think so, to be quite honest with you. Sorry, my computer's acting up. I think so because the video I sent you was talking about the war against the angels and demon, the war in heaven,
Oh yeah.
and
Okay.
how yeah, so how like the demons, I mean the angels were the ones that went against God, were sent to hell or went to earth, became Aswan. So that to me, I was just all right. This it's a demon. It's a demon-like creature that possesses powers. But I mean, I don't. But I feel like there's only limitations of what it could do with its powers. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think God's going to give full control to these things to have full power to do what it wants down here. But I think there's limits to their limitations of what they could do here. But
Yeah, they need
I
that vessel. They need the person to do like the ritual, to
Yeah,
even
of
begin with.
course. There's a law, there's an order with it. That's what it seems, like it can't go into your house without permission, you know. So, yeah, I think there's an order to these things. But again, there hasn't been what I've seen so far, not recent accounts. I mean, I don't know. You talk to the locals. I don't know if there is recent accounts that, sightings
No,
of this
I
thing.
mean, I talked to people who basically, in their family life, like at some point they had seen it down the road, not like anytime recently though. It's more
Yeah.
of like in the past like 10, 20 years ago.
And 20 years
Um,
ago, that's like 20 years ago. Yeah, that's
I
recent
mean, yeah,
enough.
yeah, it's just
You
not
know what I
as
mean?
common, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe like the sightings and like, all of that have dropped off. Maybe the families aren't passing it down the same way. That's also comments
Yeah.
that I've read in the past is that like
Yeah.
I guess it's just modernization. Old family
Yeah.
rituals aren't really being upheld, or maybe the people aren't really interested in carrying it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Or this thing's just
There's
not
like a
around
whole like
or
sociological aspect to it.
yeah. True. And I just think I mean if it hasn't been around for so long, maybe it's just I don't know. Maybe it's dead. I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't
Well, it's
well,
not. It's like multiple. It's not. The Manananggal can be a lot of different people that are practicing it.
yeah.
It's not just like one particular. As far as I know, it's anybody that is able to do the black magic.
Hmm. I mean, what's your opinion? Because it hasn't been seen in so long, do you think it's afraid or do you think it's I don't know, just waiting for the right time to come back out? Like what do you think?
It's probably waiting. I mean, like I said, it's I haven't heard of anything recently when I was there.
Hmm.
I was in different provinces. I didn't venture too far out.
Yeah.
Basically, my journeys were between Makati, Antipolo, and then Batangas is what it's called. I was in Batangas as well. That's about as far north as I went. I'm sure if we
Okay.
went, like if I ventured out to a different province farther away, I probably would have heard more stories about it.
Yeah.
But I think it likes to avoid like modernization and stuff.
Yeah.
It probably ventures out to like the more like very rural parts of
Yeah.
the Philippines. That's just what I'm assuming.
Yeah, it makes sense. But I feel like in the poor area, I think that's where the thing wants to stay. You know what I mean? That's where it wants to, because the easy prey. Sad to say, but it's.
Well, I
I
mean,
just
imagine
I
you're
just
flying
hope it's
around.
not.
You wouldn't want to be flying around in a city, right?
God no, man. You want
Like
to
a
be more.
chance for
Yeah, of
anybody to spot you from a skyscraper. Like
course.
there's a lot of skyscrapers, like in Makati, BGC,
Mhm. Yeah,
Manila. All the chances that people could easily see you, but if you're out in the
of course.
countryside where it's rural and like smaller villages, yeah, it's easier to.
Of course. Yeah.
It's just more of a predatory thing.
Yeah. Would you go looking for it if you could?
Absolutely
Yes.
not.
Absolutely, you will.
No, 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 no.
I know. I
Uh,
think that's our
there's a
adventure we
number
need
of
to do.
things I'd rather run into than that.
I don't know, man. I think we should do it. I think we should go to the Philippines,
I don't
man.
want to be like lifted off into the air and taken into the night by like
I would,
a
if
Manananggal.
if that ever happened, I would put my
Oh
hands
god.
inside the the I'm not gonna even try to pronounce it, in Aswang, in the inner area where her torso used to be, her bottom part, I mean, and just take out
Well,
her organs.
I'm gonna derail the conversation a little bit, but you know what really comes to mind when we're talking about this?
What?
Vampire Lord from Skyrim.
My God, yes.
Like
Oh my
you
God,
can
that game
like
we played for
basically
hours.
shapeshift into like a vampire lord in the game and
Mhm.
fly. If you're modded and you're playing the game modded, you can actually fly in the air. It's crazy.
That
That's what it
oh my
makes me
God.
think of.
Yeah, I remember watching you play that game, especially the vampire mode. That was pretty fun. That was a lot of fun
Yeah.
watching you stream that. But God, that game you could put endless hours in, even to this day. And it's how long how many years is it that game has been out? God,
2011 it came out. I'm
yeah,
still in high school.
2011. My gosh, and it's still a playable game. It's still fun. You could put mad hours in, especially with all the mods that they're coming out now. You
Yeah,
know,
like I don't know. I mean, uh, I want to ask you this question, but I already know the
yeah.
answer. You've never like performed black like magic and rituals and stuff. Like you're not that kind of guy, but
No,
like
hold on one second. I'm doing it right now. Hold on. Where's my
yeah,
blade
you're
at?
real slow to
Just just just
So
had to do a little incision in my arm.
in Skyrim, you do these things that are, you know, like that would go against like even like some of the like the religions in the game itself, and like there's no consequences. But when you're doing this stuff in real life, like there's actual consequences. Like, but like the game,
Yeah.
I guess, gives you that power to like transform and do whatever you want and like be this all powerful being. And in reality, people are doing that, and I just couldn't imagine doing that for real, like in real life.
Oh
You
God,
know,
yeah.
it just blows
Oh
my
gosh,
mind
yeah.
thinking about it.
If you're like us, just human beings, not these creatures, do performing these black, dark magic, it's just gonna backfire in your face. It always will. You know, it gives you a little taste of, power, and then it sucks you in and you're lost forever.
Are you even you when it's doing that, or is it the thing that's controlling you? Because you're just the vessel. Like, do you have any kind of autonomy? I guess that's a
If
good to
if
like
you're
good question to ponder about.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about Aswang, like during the day, it's a human being, and then afterwards, at night, it just becomes this creature. Yeah, I think it has the knowledge of what it is, because I think at the end of the day, it's a demon. But if the
Yeah,
stories are right, that if this thing attacks you, and like, again, like the stories go on, and there's all different types of, Aswangs. There's ones that can actually turn you into an Aswang by scratching you or biting you, and that's
mm.
why I'm like, I don't know if I really believe, because there's so many different. I mean, I don't know. We'll see later on. I want to still do more, diving into this thing. But
We can
I
always come
just feel
back
like,
to it.
of course, in my opinion, I think, this is just a mythological, creature that was around maybe thousands of years ago, but not really of what I don't really think it's a human being detaching itself. I just think it's just a dark spirit that's probably definitely not around anymore. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I don't know if I necessarily believe just yet. I think I need more time to do more research and to, you know, do more digging, you know.
I know that
Um,
people believe it in the Philippines, and that's plenty for me to have like some kind of belief that yeah, there's this thing going around maybe 30 years
yeah,
ago. I don't know.
yeah.
Like other
30
stuff,
years
like
ago
you
was
just
not
hear
so
accounts
long ago.
and nobody really like believes it or cares about it.
Yeah,
But then you talk to like a group of people that are like, they're treating it very seriously, like pregnant women that refuse to sleep nearby windows, like when they're
yeah,
pregnant, because they're afraid of it like popping up.
Yeah.
Like that's some real fear, you know.
Yeah. I mean, and I feel bad saying I don't believe. I mean, I just, I don't know. For me, I hope it's not real
That's
for their
okay. I mean,
sake.
I think you're
That's
a terrible person. That's fine. But yeah,
no,
whatever.
no. I'm a terrible person. Yeah, yeah. I'm a horrible. Everybody in the Philippines are
It's
probably
been
gonna hate me
50
after this
minutes. Like
video.
I'm just thinking, like, why am I doing this podcast? with you? I'm just
Yeah, me too, man. I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I'm with this horrible human being that's trying to be Amish right now. Like, why?
I
But
promise I like messing with them. I'm not as mean as I am on this podcast, but because it's
no,
out,
no.
I like
He
picking
is.
on him. I can't help it. I've
He's a pretty
I've
mean
known him
person.
almost 10 years.
He lowered my self-esteem. Just kidding.
Let's bring
I
it back
used,
up so I can lower it again.
oh my God. Hear that, people? But anyway, this story is pretty cool, but I feel like if I don't know. I definitely want to see the movie. I know they said you said there was a movie about it, so I definitely want to watch that.
There's a fairly recent one. I mean, not too recent. I think it was like probably in the last 10, 20 years. I have to
Yeah.
find it. You and I should watch it though, for
Yeah.
sure.
Sorry, the freaking glare over there with that huge light over there. Yeah, I'm using a
I
different light
want to wear
bulb.
my
Before we
glasses
did
because
this,
there's a huge glare and I don't really
yeah,
want to annoy the
no, don't
audience.
do it. Yeah. It's just no, before we did this podcast, my light bulb went out and I put a different light bulb in there and it's like extremely bright. So I'm like, oh my gosh. It's
I
making
could
my
kind of see like I think what do they call that, lens flare or something?
yeah, I'm like, oh my God, it looks
Yeah,
like the
I don't
sun
know.
is behind me. It's like, okay, relax, man. Go down. It's like daytime over here.
Yeah, you got the
Yeah,
sun
my
in your
God.
room. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks like there's a sun in my room technically with my light
Yeah.
like up
A
there. It's
little,
pretty
yeah,
bright.
look at that, man. That's how
Yeah,
they
stare into it.
yeah, that does look like a sun, man. You're just staring into it, oh my God, my
Yeah, just
eyes
stare
are
into the
watering.
light. You just
Yeah.
don't stop looking at
Oh,
it.
just go to the light, Alex. Go to the light.
Yeah,
But
yeah, do
oh my
that.
gosh. No, man, we have to go to the Philippines, man. You and me, dude. We have to
Oh,
go.
yeah,
We really do. I want to try
yeah.
the
You
food
just
and
gotta sit
I
on a
want to
cooking
go to the
flight. It'll be
area
fun.
that this thing supposedly was seen too. I just think it'll be
Yeah,
pretty
good
cool.
luck
We
with
could
that,
film it.
Alex. I'll
You're
see you around.
coming with me. I'm not doing it by
No,
myself. Are you on drugs? No, dude. No, we're going together. We're doing it together, okay? No, we're
yeah,
going
sure,
together at
totally.
night. At night. So
Okay,
we're doing
Alex.
it. You have to. You have to. You're not leaving me alone. We're doing it.
Yeah,
And we'll
I
we'll film it for the podcast, man. And we'll come back, we'll
yeah,
talk
yeah, we
about it, man.
will.
It'll be great. Yeah, you
Yeah,
and me
I'll
at night in
stay
the Philippines
250
looking for
meters away
asthma.
from you. You can go out there. I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm good. No, we're doing it together, man. I'll just
Friends till the end,
I'll just
except when I
root for
bail
your
on you
drink and
because
bring you out with
pass
me.
along.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. But yeah,
You know,
imagine we did we
if we were in the woods and we were running away from something like this, I'm
uh
sorry. You run faster than me. I'm done.
yeah, it's true. Not probably not right now, but no, dude, to be honest with you, just imagine like if we did go out, we did see something like that, I would be like, oh God, okay. What do we do? We're fucked. I
One
I
of these
do
days, we're going to talk about. We're going to go more into detail about shapeshifters and skinwalkers
yeah,
here and the stories I've heard, and what we would do in the situations. Because it's always like, usually it's in a woods or it's like on the highway chasing a car. Those are
yeah,
really common stories. We'll put ourselves in some scenarios for that podcast. That'll be fun.
yeah. Of course, yeah. And again, this is the first episode, and we're just basically again, this is my first time hearing about this creature. I'm just reading some things up on it, and I'm just like, to be honest, I feel a little overwhelmed because there's so much. I thought it was just going to be like something like, oh, it's a shapeshifter. This is what it eats. This is what it does. There's like
Yeah, I
12
picked this
like
one as the first one on
different,
purpose. It's like one of the most horrifying creatures I've ever heard
yeah.
about or seen.
But there's so many different
Not seen,
stories
but
about this thing,
pictures.
that their diets, it was an angel in the beginning and now it's a demonic, entity, or it's just a weird looking dog with wings. And I'm like, okay, I'm lost. I'm like, oh my God, there's so much to go off on. You can literally have like 13 episodes to just talking about this creature.
I'm excited for to like to speak to people in the comments about it.
Yeah,
We're gonna
no, I
read
am
your
too.
comment. I mean, also if
Yes.
you want like in the future, towards the end like this of the episode, we're gonna have like submissions that we're gonna read. So you can like
Yeah,
submit a scary story. It doesn't even have to necessarily be related to the urban legend we're talking about.
yeah,
We'll read your story, like because we wanna talk about all kinds of different things. Like
yeah.
We don't mind getting off track a little bit either, you know.
Yeah. Oh no. Like I'm over here like scratching my nose. My nose has been itchy this
Like
whole
I'm
time.
talking about like video games and Skyrim, like
Yeah. I've been over here
these are
itching my
things it
nose like
reminds me of,
500
you know.
times. My God, I don't know what's going on with my nose, but it's like itchy. But
Yeah,
we're gonna be
quite the
going off.
nose on you.
Fa- Yeah, it's a big schnoz. We all got and a little bit of salt and
You don't
pepper
have
over there
allergies, right?
too. Yeah, I do.
You do. I
I'm
have
surprised I'm
allergies,
not sneezing
but
right
I'm
now,
okay
but
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, I mean, I have my window open because it's such a nice cold breeze coming in the room, and I'm like, oh, cool. I don't need my fan on. I can just leave the window open. It's so relaxing. So it's
All right,
pretty
that's cool.
nice.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's really nice and cool in my office right now, which I like. It's pretty chill. But
Good for you.
thanks, man. Where's
Good
your office? You
for
don't have
you.
an office. I have an
That's right. I
office.
don't. I'm in a
Yeah,
chair right now in my room.
yeah. I'm sitting on a pink chair. I don't want to show it. I'm a little embarrassed. It's like literally pink. It's like Barbie pink. It's my wife's chair.
That's
You know
awesome.
what I mean? Yeah, it's hers, and
Show me.
yeah, this is hers too. It's a coffee
I
donut
fell
mug.
for it. I
Yeah,
feel really dumb, but I fell for it. There's like a
yeah,
whole thing. Yeah.
yeah. He was like, "How do you put drinks in it?" I was like, "Oh no, dude, look at that." Just kidding.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Idiot.
visit you, and that mug's gonna go missing.
Yeah, come back, man. Come
Oh yeah,
back, dude.
sure. I gotta visit you one of these days.
Yeah, dude. I haven't physically, seen you in like how long, man? It feels like forever. 4 years.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna collab soon for this podcast. I
Yeah,
know we're doing that.
yeah,
That's
man.
happening for sure. We're gonna
Yeah.
have some special episodes for you guys.
Yeah, so I'm planning on doing, and also we're gonna get we're gonna get more content for you guys too. The more support we get, more views, followers, whatever, the more content we're gonna be giving you guys. I would like to do more of the, exploring and, trying to, find these creatures. That would be nice, right, Troy? You and me, as one,
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
as one.
I'll be there
Yeah, yeah,
for sure. Totally.
yeah, dude. Yeah, that'd be nice. Bring that beard, man. Be sweet. I mean, your beard's nice, man. Mine's all
Leave me
like
alone.
freaking white. Look at that
Yeah.
white patch, man. I'm getting old, man. I'm only 31, dude. So much,
Nah, bro,
work
you're
does to
41.
you. You're 41. You look 12. You're the
No, I don't. Stop
youngest
that. I don't know what
40-year-old
you're
person.
talking about.
He's really not 40. He's more like what, 28?
29. Thanks.
29? 29. You're getting old, bro.
I look useful for my age. What can I
You're
say?
gonna you're gonna die soon, man. Like
What?
that's you're
Hold
gonna
on, what?
die soon.
You think
That's
I'm
old.
Benjamin Button? Is that what you're saying? Like, why would I die
You're
soon?
gonna die, man, pretty soon, dude. Like, we're all gonna die soon. But yeah, man.
No,
But
it's
yeah,
getting kind of morbid. All right.
it's getting kind of dark and weird. I like it. This
Like
part of
the
the
Dark
podcast.
Begonia podcast.
The
Shout
dark
out to
begonia
us.
podcast. Yes, right. So why did you
Uh,
by the way, it was my idea to start this podcast, but you're the one that thought of the name. So why dark begonia? Let the viewers know.
Because I had a garden. You were supposed to take care of it. You never took care of it. He's a bad friend.
That's really not what happened. That's really not why you named it dark begonia, you idiot.
Oh yeah, why is it? Why do you tell me this story?
I don't know. You got to tell me the story. I just remember every time I said something or did something, and you're like, "Oh, my begonias!" Like
I
being an
need to
idiot.
water my begonias.
Like, why? Where did that
I
come
don't
from? Where
know.
did that originate from?
I love the elderly. I love old people. I've worked in a lot of different jobs that involve the elderly and like community. And I don't know. It's just like something I came up with just because like I can imagine like a sweet old lady outside like watering her flowers, you know. And then I started saying it,
That's really lame. I wish you
and then
just
you
lied to
started
me.
saying it. I don't know.
I really wish you just lied to me. That's really. I thought there was
Really?
something a little bit more interesting. Just like you killed somebody with a
Wow, you
begonia. You're
got
like you
jokes.
strangled them with the begonia.
You know,
Like, dude,
you're the one that brought this up. You know, you
I
got
thought you were gonna
some
give something
jokes.
interesting. Yeah,
That's
man.
very interesting. All right. You know
I
what?
love old
Shout out
people.
to Kit Boga who does the sweet old lady impressions. That's also content I love watching. All right. It also reminds me of that.
Really? Okay, nice, man.
But
All right.
anyway,
Anything else you want to give us about this creature
yeah, I
that you
want to
know?
insult you for insulting my joke. How dare you?
I didn't know it was a joke, but okay. I'm just
Oh yeah,
no, I
maybe you
didn't
should
know.
go check
Yeah.
your door for a raccoon. Why don't you go do that?
Oh gosh, you should check your door for a long
That's
haired,
wrong.
pale white lady at your door
A
wants to
a
come in.
half woman,
Yeah,
half
half
torso
woman.
woman.
I'm just like, oh my God, this is freaky. Like, what the hell are you, lady? Where's your other half?
Okay, all right, real quick. Would you rather
Yeah.
face an Aswang or a Resident Evil 2 liquor on the ceiling?
Aswang, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
for
like
sure, dude.
no way. You can sneak around the liquor though. The liquor's blind. You can just quietly
Yeah,
buy it and get away.
I they freak me out, man. They freak me out so much. And when they do get you, you're fucked.
Yeah, well, you watch me. Hey, why are you cursing? This is a family-friendly show.
I said I didn't finish the whole shebang. I didn't go.
Oh yeah.
I just went fuck.
After this podcast, I'm gonna analyze it to make sure you didn't. How you like them apples,
Just
boy?
cool. Fuck you. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. This is PG-13.
Hey,
PG-13
that's
podcast.
strike one. All right,
Strike one. All
strike
right.
one. You don't want
All
to get
right.
to strike three. I'm just
It's
kidding.
gonna happen to strike three.
Well, we
You're
could just end
fired. I
it.
started this podcast. Oh
I'm
yeah, you don't like
taking,
editing.
I'm
Oh,
taking
I'm gonna be
control.
taking control. Kiss my. See, I didn't even say that. I bleeped it out, man. Bleeped it out. But
All right.
yeah,
Well,
man.
yeah.
But
Do you have any for me actually, like that? Because I was kind of thinking about
all
it
right.
now. I'd rather fight a liquor.
Let
Well,
me.
not even fight. I would rather sneak away from a liquor.
Yeah, I mean, all right. For that, I would be all right. The reason why I would pick Aswang is because if a 12-year-old can escape the grasp of that damn creature, I think I can do it too. So I think I'm fine. Um, but yeah, I have a question for you. Would you rather fight Aswang or
Lick a tongue? Just kidding.
Lickitung? I would invite Lickitung over, but like Lickitung, we gotta
That's a
talk.
family-friendly show. I think I'll live. I won't die.
That's a big tongue
I'll just
there,
get into a
Lickitung.
Pokemon battle. It's fine.
That's a nice tongue, Lickitung. That's a nice looking tongue right there, boy. I'm
All right, what were
sorry.
you gonna say?
Uh, uh, I would say Aswang or trying to think of something, man. That's I'll give you something that's kind of all right. Aswang or the Jersey Devil. Ooh,
That sucks. They both have wings.
yeah, they
Um,
both have wings. That's why.
by the way,
And
we're
also
gonna cover
too,
that in another episode. But
yeah. Oh yeah, that's going
hmm.
to be interesting. And actually, I can. We drove in the pine barrens actually, which we'll say that for the episode, which was pretty
Yeah,
cool and
they'll say
interesting.
that for the episode. But
Yeah, it's
that's a
tricky,
hard
but
one. That's actually a really hard one.
but there's not really
I
that.
want to
I
say
mean,
the Aswang.
really
Yeah, it's like
why?
because I don't like the combination of like the Jersey Devil, like how it's made out of different animals. Like I would be like more unsettled by that than like a half woman just kind of floating in the air with wings, like with claws trying to get me, like the
Yeah,
Left 4 Dead witch.
I just feel like yeah, right. I just feel like with the Jersey Devil, it's not. There's not many violent stories about the Jersey Devil. Like there's some, but not much.
Well,
Not
you're
as
putting me
much
into
as
a
the
hypothetical situation where I'm like faced with
yeah,
it. Like what would you
yeah, of
do?
course.
Like that's obviously you can run. I'd probably try to duck and hide behind some trees, but out of everything, I would like out of those two options, I would choose to fight the Aswang or hide or whatever.
I would just grab S1 by her tongue and swing her around and just throw her in the sky. Like
Yeah, you
in
make it sound
Pokemon
so
with Team
easy.
Rocket, like in Pokemon and Team Rocket, they're blasting off again. Like just like screw you, Aswang, screw you. I'm
Oh
kicking
my
your ass for the
god.
Philippines, the Filipino people. This is for you. Yeah, I'd probably
Um,
die. I'd probably die. But yeah, that I think yeah, the Jersey Devil. I just feel like I would rather take on the Jersey Devil
all right,
than
everybody in the comment section. Here's a question for you, and we're gonna wrap this up. But
yeah.
would you rather fight Resident Evil 2 Liquor, the Aswang, or the Jersey Devil? What would you rather be faced with out of those three options?
I
Maybe we'll
think
make a
most people
poll.
are going to say the
You know,
Jersey Devil. I think most people are going to be like the Jersey Devil because those two, man,
Well,
they get you.
I
You're
feel differently. All right. Actually, I would take the liquor though. Out of you can
What
sneak
if
by
one?
it. It's blind, man.
Yeah, but if you make one wrong step, you're screwed.
You just like squeak, like the creak on the floor. You're like, ah!
I'd be so pissed. It's like Quiet Place. It's like I'm so
All
pissed.
right, have fun, Alex. I'm gonna hide in this broom closet.
I'd be like, this is great. Bye, try. I'm dead. Like, what do you do in that situation? You can't even kick it in the nuts. It doesn't have nuts. You're like, fucking,
In
it's
Resident
not
Evil 2,
ginger.
like they're in Resident Evil 2, you can knife it to death. I've seen people do that in their playthroughs in the
Really?
game.
Wait, what can you do in the game? I didn't hear you.
You can use like your combat knife to like attack it and like to get like to defeat it that way, pretty much.
Yeah, but if this thing
You gotta
scratches
be
you, you
quick.
turn
It's
into a
not.
zombie. That's the sucky part. If you get scratched or bit by this thing, you turn
Oh
into
yeah.
that.
All right. Well, if you're going for realism, yeah, that sucks. That's right. It can
Yeah,
infect you. Do
yeah. Screw
you
that,
remember
man.
the
Let
first
me.
Resident Evil? Like it was one of the only movies I remember where it like showed the guy
Yeah,
transforming into a liquor. That
which
was
was
such a good movie. Like
freaking insane. Yeah, it was the
it's a
first
little
one I saw that
outdated
movies.
nowadays, but it's still like a
Oh, I'll
fun movie.
still watch that and be entertained by the graphics and everything. I appreciate the old stuff.
Like it's cartoony and campy, but it works.
I still think it's great. I don't know why you have to like,
Ah,
disrespect the movie, but yeah, go
excuse
on.
me.
So,
Yeah, yeah,
you all right?
totally.
You just inappropriately just did that. It's our
Yeah,
podcast. You're
I'm
being
good.
so rude, coughing. Now I have to do it. Hold on.
You guys get to enjoy
Yeah.
my coughing.
Yeah, it's
I
horrifying.
don't know why. Maybe I
Horrible
need a
person.
glass of water because he's making me laugh.
Yeah,
And
I
I don't know.
actually,
I'm just having a really good time insulting him wherever I can. It's good. It
yeah,
works.
this is a great show. If I have to deal with this every damn day, it's gonna be
This is forever, man. We're gonna make a lot of episodes. You're just gonna have to put
great. Yeah.
up with it. I don't know how you're gonna deal with it, but
Oh yeah, and
that's on you.
also too, the videos are gonna get better and better. I promise that. Again, this is our first video. Um,
Yeah, we're just getting the hang of it.
oh yeah, you know, the lighting is definitely gonna be better the next episode. I'm not gonna have the freaking scorching sun right behind me, just scorching down on
Yeah.
me.
Well,
It's
but
gonna be very
apart
bright
from
in
us
this room.
having fun together and hanging out, we also want to hang out
Yeah.
with you. We want to turn this into more of like a community rather than just
Mm.
like a podcast. Like
Yeah.
to do that, there's a couple things I want to discuss. I'm a life coach, and I want to offer my services. This is a shameless plug, but I
Good job.
if you'd like to support the channel, um, I'm going to offer like cheap services like $5 for like guided meditation and stuff like that. Um, and yeah, of course, we're going to read all the comments.
Mm.
Eventually, we're going to grow and do new things. Like eventually, we'd like to meet up and do like actual in person like podcast. That would be great. That's down the road.
Yeah. Down the road, definitely, definitely. We want to do this. The goal is full time and have a better, because we want to give good content. Obviously, this is our first video. We're just trying to show you, I guess, like, introduce you this creature and also introduce our personalities, who we are, and obviously we'll get more comfortable with, this site that we're using too to do this podcast because we did it like we had to do a couple of like tests just to get this thing up and running.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
like,
my gosh, it was
yeah,
such a fiasco. Like he couldn't hear me, and I thought it
yeah,
was my phone, and I was like,
dude.
oh gosh.
It's like somebody out there did not want us to do this episode, man. The freaking light bulb blew out, and I had to put this one in. My internet connection was like failing. I couldn't hear you. That's why I'm wearing this headset right here because I could not hear you at all. But the audio sounded fine. We did the testing, and you sound great. But on my end, I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, that means it's all your fault.
Yeah, cool. You're a terrible human being.
Thanks. It's great.
That's awesome.
Jeez, we get along great. And
Yeah, it's great.
that's
I
right.
really miss him.
I'm trying to be professional. I don't know. He melts me. He makes me all like
I melt
happy
you.
and laughy,
Oh,
and I just want to mess with him. It's hard. It's
yeah.
like a temptation. I
People,
mean,
what the
I was professional
fuck?
throughout most of the show.
Dude, yeah, Alex, you make me melt, dude. It's temptation. This is a little
Hey,
weird, man.
hey,
I'm just saying.
we're going back to the first love thing. All right, that was on you. All right, that's
Love at first sight,
not. Let me
yes.
remind you of that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I never melt when it comes to you. I just say, hey, Troy, how are you, buddy? You don't make me melt, you freak. You sick bastard. Telling
Okay,
people
well,
live.
I guess I'm gonna have to revoke the friendship card. I mean, I don't know. You're
No,
making it
it's
pretty
all
easy right now.
yeah, I don't have a card. I threw yours away a long time ago when you moved. Just
Wow, this is getting
how is the light
really
behind me?
on,
Like, how is the light? I'm
more.
not even facing the light. There we go.
You have that
Jeez.
lens flare thing going on.
Yeah, man. I'm not even facing it, man. It's weird. It's just, come on. All right. The lighting's better this way. All right. And also, too, the camera's opposite. So if I move my left hand, my right hand, it looks like I'm lifting my
Oh
freaking.
yeah. Well, can't you switch it? Didn't you do that last time, where you when we were like trying to mess around and play with it? You like switch sides or whatever. Can't you
No,
do that?
oh, yeah. Was I on the
Yeah, I'm
left?
sorry, folks. You're still learning.
Damn it. It's okay. It's okay.
That's okay. Like I said, we're wrapping this up now.
Yeah, I was gonna I was gonna add a video. Never mind. Never mind.
But
Don't.
anyways, you have to forgive me. I'm really new to doing this. He did such a good job introducing us. I'm going to try to wrap it up and close it out. But thank you all for coming out and watching this video. Leave a comment. We do want to engage with you. We want to hear what you have to say. Maybe you have a
Yeah.
story about what we're talking about. Maybe it's a story about, I don't know, another scary encounter. That's okay. We want to read it. And then if you also want to
Yeah. Of
submit that story for us to read at the end, like that's what we'll do. We'll spend like the first part talking about the actual topic,
course. Yeah.
and then we'll move on to your submissions that we'll read on like
Of
our
course. Yeah.
yeah.
And again,
So
we're gonna stick with the Philippines for maybe two more episodes. You don't know. I mean, there's a lot of awesome lore that's in the Philippines that we could talk about. And you know, I'm biased. I love the Philippines. So if we can stick, maybe a couple more episodes in the Philippines, that'd be great.
yeah,
So
we're gonna travel
yeah.
the world.
Yeah. So
We're
right
gonna
now
go
we're
all
sticking with the
over. It's not
Philippines
just
and
gonna be the
then
Philippines. Eventually, we want to
yeah,
come back to America because America has a ton of like lore. But I don't know.
tons of lore. Yeah.
I'm really interested to learn more about the world anyway. So I mean, it's
Of
fun for
course. Yeah.
me.
Yeah, we could bounce around a little bit. This is our way
Anyways,
to travel. So
yeah, your submissions can go to dark begonia podcast at gmail.com. So send your submissions there. And we get some, maybe we'll read some next episode. So
yeah,
that would be
that'd be
cool.
great.
I would really enjoy that.
Yeah.
It would,
Again, we're
and then we
trying
can like,
to
input our experiences as well.
yeah, and again, we want to do more episodes a week. Right now we're doing because with our schedule being different, there's a what 3 hour difference between you and I. So right now it's like almost 1 in the morning for me, and you, it's yeah, definitely not one in
Yeah,
the
we're
morning.
about a 3 hour difference.
Yeah, 3 hour difference. But yeah, and also to my busy schedule with work. But again, we want to stick to
Yeah.
doing maybe three videos a week. Uh, once we start getting more comfortable and getting more content for you guys, more stories to look up and lore for you
Yeah.
guys. So yeah, and even if it's
So we're,
like a video of just answering your comments and talking to you guys, that's something we can do as well. So definitely feel free to
oh,
comment.
that'll be fun. I'll enjoy
Yeah,
that. Like,
yeah,
I feel like everybody has a story about something, regarding
I
like
do.
the
Yeah, of
spooky, creepy, paranormal, cryptids, all that stuff, urban
yeah,
legends.
of course. So yeah, man, close this out, man. End this podcast. The
No,
dread
we're gonna
just hit.
talk forever,
I
going
want
for
to.
five
I
hours.
want to. Oh my God, no! What are we? Joe Rogan
No, I don't
podcast,
think
which
you
is a
can
great
make it.
podcast, by the way. Yeah, 5 hours.
Would
I
you
think
want
I'd
to do
pass
more
out.
than an hour? I don't know. It's something I probably shouldn't ask you on the podcast, but I'll ask you anyways.
Putting me on the spot. No, I think like 10
Yeah, that's
minutes,
right. Spotlight.
10 minutes. I think it's long enough with you. I'm just kidding. I
That's a
think
good answer.
long enough. 10 minutes,
That's a
man.
really good answer.
And that's pushing it for me. No, I think no, an hour. I think whatever, like if we get to the point and right now, I mean, there's so much to go off with this creature. So it's like we can do another hour if we want, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like maybe we have so many submissions at one point where we'll just like hang out for a while and read them like well
Yeah.
past an hour. Like I don't mind doing
Yeah, of
that.
course.
That would be fun. I
Oh
could talk
God,
to you
yeah.
forever, and I mean, like I would love to
Oh
read these
yeah.
stories and like give
Oh my
shout outs
gosh,
to the
yeah.
people who
And
submitted
also
them.
too, once we do that, like let's just say once this video goes up and we read the comments, we can go live right afterwards and then be like, okay, let's read the comments. What are the people saying? What are their stories and all that? So, you know,
Actually, that's a really good idea.
yeah,
Wow,
for a
got good
future
ideas
episode.
sometimes. That's cool.
That's great. Not sometimes, all the time. Like this podcast is my
All the
idea.
time, really? I don't know what
All the
that.
time. Every single time. Every single time. All right. So
Yeah.
anyway,
So I'm gonna wrap this up because we're already at about an hour and 15 minutes. Please feel
maybe
free to
technical, it's an
comment.
hour 14 and 30 something seconds if you want to be accurate. I'm
Oh,
sorry, but
oh, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I rounded up 35 seconds. Oh, big whoop.
it's okay. you're
Wow.
I accept your apology.
So, anyways, like, share, subscribe, send this out to your friends, your family. Get involved. Be a part of our little community, our little garden. We love to
Yeah,
read your comments, your submissions, all that. And yeah, thank you for being here.
yeah. Thank you for watching, and we'll hope to see you guys soon.
Yeah,
All
come
right.
back to the garden anytime.
Yes. See you guys soon. Peace.
All right, y'all. Have a good
All right.
night.
All
Talk
right.
to you
I'll see
soon.
you, Troy.
Yeah, goodbye to you too, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
forever.
see you. Bye.
Forever. Bye. See you guys.
Bye bye.